So it's the same old for me, man. I've been saying the same thing, you know. But everybody, if you coming in, just hit the like button. I noticed one thing too. People be hitting the like button, and then YouTube will sit up here and take likes away. So they taking likes away on my channel, and they don't like it because I don't care about none of that. But the fact that they actually do that, I do care about that. I have noticed that for a while now. I actually noticed that for like 10 months that YouTube actually takes my likes away when people hit the like button. I've noticed that they take my views away. So I see what time it is. What they mad cause what? Cause I just ain't talking about black fighters all day? I thought, okay, we'll see about that. See, they want to gang up with these fans. See what we have right now in boxing is way bigger than what any fan. That's why I don't really explain anything to fans these days. It's way bigger than what they explain. Everything they starting to realize now, I've already known about. When people was complaining about Boots Ennis, I did a whole live. I had an old man on here arguing with me about how Anthony Joshua is so much better than Deontay Wilder. And in that same live I had started, I started the live. This was like 8 months ago. I wanted to come on there and talk about Jerron Ennis' deal with DAZN and how that is looked at as different from other deals that people got from DAZN. Had an old man come in here talking about how Joshua was a bigger star and everything else. That guy's no longer around because he was pushing propaganda. I know people looked at me like, wow, why would you ignore that guy? He was pushing propaganda, bro. Everything he said didn't come true. It's just like that. Boxing ain't that serious to get on here and lie about. Y'all got to realize that, though. A lot of these people that sit up here and lie about boxing. So what you think will happen in a real life situation? When it comes down to finances, money, this is how people lose their life out here. People lie about small things, and then when serious things happen in life, it's just boxing. Boxing should never be serious enough to where people come on here and lie about something. But it's gotten so serious to some people. It's like, well, I need to win an argument because I want my people to look good in front of the camera. Like, bro, it's getting called out, man. And YouTube really doesn't like things like that because they want to sit up here and play to the narrative and make certain boxers look bigger than what they are. I don't know why. It's protection out for certain guys. I want to more so say Munguia. I'm not going after him or anything, but it's just the Ryan Garcia Fury situation. Other situations, fans treating certain losses like it's not really a loss. Dudes getting dropped multiple times, then people talking about they ducking guys who getting dropped multiple times. It's not the real thing. It's not the real thing. People acting like Canelo got other options out here when he really don't. We talking about him and Jake Paul. Man, fans is laying down right now. Fans is laying down. They ain't even fans no more. They prisoners of war. They POWs. They're not even fans no more because the narratives right now ain't sticking. Do y'all want to talk about boxing or you want to push narratives? See, everybody ain't talking about boxing right now. Nobody's talking about boxing. You got Robert Garcia just came out and said he think Teofimo can beat Ennis. So why does he keep favoring guys who've been dropped multiple times in fights by guys who ain't punchers? That's just common sense. And I'm a guy who said that Michael Garcia was gonna be able to go 12 with Earl Spence. And I was one of the only guys that actually said that. Everybody thought Michael Garcia was gonna get KO'd by Earl Spence. So I'm the perfect person to actually say that conversation. But to hear him say something about Teofimo beating Jerron Ennis, come on, man. If you can believe in that, brother, you can believe in any other fighter out here having a chance. Like, let's be real. If you can actually believe in that, you can believe in any other fighter who got a chance. It's just simple as that. It's really not that hard. But I hear a lot of the media right now coming out during the week of the fight. Now, all this time we done had to talk about Tyson Fury, who y'all want between Usyk and Tyson Fury. They did the same thing last time. Same thing last time. I'm finna go ahead and break it down right now. The media coming out right now. You got a whole bunch of people coming out this week. This week, the week of the fight. Oh, I think Usyk gonna KO Fury. Let me tell you why everybody coming out right now saying that Usyk gonna KO Tyson Fury. The reason why they saying that is because they want you to sit up here and get your mind set on if Usyk don't get a knockout. Cause you know Usyk, it's not, bro. It's not a good chance that Usyk gonna go out here and knock out Tyson Fury. They know Usyk ain't got more power than Wilder. It ain't no good chance. They know that Usyk couldn't knock out Joshua. It ain't no good chance that Usyk could go out here and knock out Tyson Fury. Who do these people think they are? And they all saying the same thing the week of the fight. Y'all ain't said it the first fight, though. And you seen how bad Tyson Fury looked better against Usyk than he did against Ngannou. So all of a sudden, him going 12 rounds with Usyk mean he gonna get knocked out. They want to say that so they can make it seem like once Usyk doesn't knock him out, oh, that means Tyson Fury definitely won the fight. Watch, you'll see. You can clip this too. So I'm gonna play this back after the fight Saturday. When Usyk don't knock this man out, watch how they gonna say he won the fight, because they know people can't break down fights, and the commentary is gonna be definitely horrible. I can already tell the commentary is gonna be trash before the fight even starts. Talking about Tyson Fury, yeah, he gonna get knocked out. He gonna get knocked out. Y'all wait until December 16th, 15th, 14th, a week before the fight to sit up here and say Tyson Fury gonna get knocked out by Usyk. What have you seen? What have Usyk been doing in the last 2 weeks that made everybody just realize that he was gonna get a knockout now? Why we can't say this in October, November? They want you to get your expectations so high to the point where it's like, okay, if Usyk don't get a knockout, that means Tyson Fury won the fight. Watch what I say. They acting like this dude Wilder or something. Yeah, he gonna get a knockout. Usyk ain't no knockout artist. This man, let's see how many knockout stoppages he had recently. The man 22 wins, 14 knockouts. The last time he had a knockout was against Dubois. Okay? Before that, the man ain't had a knockout since 2019. So Usyk done had one knockout in the last 5 years. One knockout in the last 5 years, and they talking about he finna get a knockout against Tyson Fury. Man, who are y'all fooling, man? You can't fool me with that. You can fool these other people with that, but you can't fool me with that. You wait until the week of to say he gonna get a knockout? Nah. Nope. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. You can't wait until the week of the fight and then sit up here and say, this man gonna get a knockout. Oh yeah, I believe he gonna get a knockout. I believe he gonna get a knockout. Yeah, I see what time it is. But yeah, man, YouTube acting weird lately. This just boxing. So I can only imagine what other people, I've been seeing what other people been saying. It's been outrageous out here. It's been outrageous out here. It has been outrageous. They trying to suppress everything. If this was Haney that got knocked out yesterday, it would have been all over the place. Don't tell me they out here trying to protect Munguia like he Canelo or something. Don't tell me they're trying to protect Munguia like he Canelo. Is that what's going on? And this Tyson Fury as well. We see what time it is out here. Y'all ain't fooling nobody. But sometimes, man, you gotta walk alone to get to the truth. It was a point in time where if you look at the past pound for pound list over the years, we can go back, what, 5 years ago. If you look at the pound for pound list we've had, the pound for pound list we've had over the years. These pound for pound lists look horrible, man. I can't even lie to y'all. I can't even lie to y'all. If you look at these pound for pound lists, man, they are absolutely horrible. These pound for pound lists are absolutely horrible. I'll pull this one up. If we could just look at the pound for pound list over the years, it's absolutely horrible. Trying to force fighters on that. Look at this pound for pound list from 2018. Look at this. Look at that crap. Usyk number 10. Kovalev number 8. Look at all this. Still had Kovalev on the pound for pound. Let me see. You know what I noticed when I look at this list? Lomachenko got 1 loss. He's on here. Sora got 4 losses. Kovalev got 2 losses. Donnie got 1 loss. But Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence, they got to be perfect on the list to be on here. Then you got Triple G, number 1. After the Canelo situation, right? So they was already telling you before Canelo even fought Triple G, oh, that ain't worth pound for pound. You notice that? When people always name Canelo resume, what they always say? Oh, let me name these American fighters and then that'll validate Canelo's resume. Canelo beat Triple G and got straight to number 3 on pound for pound. This man went from not even being on the list to number 3. And jumped over Usyk. So they've been doing this. I just want y'all to look at that. They had Mikey Garcia number 4, right? Devin Haney has done more up until this point than Mikey Garcia had. Even though, you know, Mikey Garcia had the run and everything else, but let's be honest, he went undisputed. I'm not even finna argue about that. But they have Mikey Garcia on the list. After the Earl Spence fight, Mikey Garcia was still on there. What Lomachenko at? Still number 1. Inoue went up past Estrada. He went past Mikey Garcia, Golovkin, Spence. Spence still undefeated. They dropping him in the pound for pound. Usyk number 5. They'll never respect the Usyk. Man, undisputed and everything, still couldn't get up there. They didn't respect Usyk. Do y'all understand that? Forget the fight this weekend. They didn't respect Usyk ever. Ever. They didn't. Usyk was what, 32 years old around this time? They didn't respect Usyk. Yeah, let's drop him and throw Inoue up there three spots. So this is when they start to put Inoue up on this list. If you look at his resume, the resume he had, the no need on Donaire situation, they tried to push him up as high as they could. Canelo went from not even being on the list to being number 3. Crawford's same spot. Lomachenko, number 1. You ain't finna force no fighters on me like that. And we've seen this already. Munguia, same situation. Now everybody trying to sit back now and figure out, as far as Munguia, what's next for him. What's next is nothing. He lost. He lost. Ain't nobody trying to figure out what's next for him. We moving on. He'll figure it out. When have we ever seen dudes trying to make plans for the guy who lost? That's why I was saying about the Haney situation. But people want to see Haney fight though. But they say they don't. But they begging for him to fight next. And they want to see who he get in the ring with. But the guy they supposedly saying won, they not pushing for him to get in the ring. They ain't never like Usyk in that situation though. I go back to that. I'm all over the place right now, but they never respect the Usyk. They had this man. This man had to fight. He had to beat Tyson Fury at age 37 to get number 1 on pound for pound. But the same man from his country that didn't accomplish more than what he accomplished, he's number 1. Sad. It's sad out here, man. It's sad out here. Oh yeah, somebody just follow me, man. If y'all, I'm on Rumble too. If anybody want to follow me on Rumble, I'm definitely on there. You can find me in Can't Face the Boxing. Cause from what it seems, I don't have no issues on Rumble. I only got like 3 followers on Rumble. I got the same amount of followers. I got the same views on Rumble that I get on YouTube. So yeah, y'all want to follow me on Rumble, man? I'm on there too. I'm on there too. Yeah. I'm gonna be posting a lot more over there soon. Yeah, I'm gonna be on there. I'm gonna be over there a lot more soon. But man, they can push the narratives all they want, but it ain't working, man. You can tell a lie 1,000 times, but it ain't gonna make it true. It ain't gonna make it true. And we've sat back and let people say all kind of narratives for years and build up their favorite fighters. And it's just not happening, man. It didn't work out. We gave y'all a chance. Y'all said Munguia was the best option Canelo had. I said, nah, I don't think so, but we'll see. People did all that huffing and puffing and ain't blow nobody's house down. I told y'all, it ain't about the boxing, the fights, the winning or losing. You trying to protect guys that your favorite fighter just fought. So your favorite fighter don't look bad. Whether y'all want to know, acknowledge it or not, Canelo looks bad in this situation. He fought a young guy who just got knocked out by 160 in Mexico. And we want to sit around here and hear everybody talking about how Terrence Crawford ain't ready. Do y'all see now why I don't want y'all to talk about Terrence Crawford? You don't even know how good Munguia is. How you gonna tell me about how good Terrence Crawford is? I'm waiting on somebody to come back and tell me I'm wrong. I be hearing people always, you wrong about that. Tell me I'm wrong now. Tell me I'm wrong now. Don't nobody ever tell you how you right these days. They always tell you how you wrong. Tell me how I'm wrong today. That's all I'm asking. Tell me how Munguia was the best option for Canelo. Y'all the boxing experts. I'm not. According to y'all, I'm the casual. So how was Munguia the best option? As every day passes by, all you're gonna do is expose your favorite fighter. And it ain't supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be square down the line. We supposed to be talking about real boxing, man. We're supposed to be talking about how these guys are gonna make the sport better. We're supposed to be having things fair. I didn't know boxing was becoming a popularity contest. Ain't nobody in the boxing game Floyd Mayweather. So ain't none of these guys moving the needle on pay-per-views. Yeah, Canelo doing a whole bunch of numbers with Munguia, but he's not the best option though. And you went the distance with him, and this new guy, and his name Brunello. This dude stepped in the ring and his name was Brunello. Let me see what Bruno's shorts is, man. So I can show everybody. This dude said my name is, he put Brunello on his shorts in Mexico. You supposed to knock a guy out like that. Brunello. That dude called himself Brunello. That's crazy. That's funny. He said, my name is Brunello. That is funny, man. You see this dude, what his short says? This dude's short say Brunello. Yeah, they hate, man. They ain't sending none of them notifications out. They don't want me attacking these. They don't want me calling out these guys. Appreciate everybody for coming through, man. YouTube be hating on me. They ain't sending no notifications out. They don't want me calling out this hypocrisy in boxing. They don't want me spreading out the truth about boxing. They got to cut every time. For some reason, every time it's a Hispanic boxer, it's an issue with YouTube. Every time. I can talk about Joshua, even Fury, they'll let it go by. But when it come down to Munguia and these guys, they get sensitive. Man. I didn't know YouTube was moving like this. And to be honest with you, I was overlooking it for months. I know I be getting like 2 or 3 likes and they do it on purpose. Even though people come through and hit the like, they'll still take them down and take the likes away. I know YouTube been moving like this. They don't want y'all to hear the truth about boxing though. This is how disgusting this platform is getting. They don't want people to sit up here and hear the truth about boxing. They know that I'm one of the only ones on here telling the truth. Even the people who run YouTube know that I'm one of the only ones that's telling the truth about boxing. That's how deep this rabbit hole goes. That's why they'll come on here and mess with my audio and or have it all this type of things that go on because they know I'm telling the truth. They don't want me to expose this stuff because they protecting their favorite fighter is Canelo as well. The people who moderate YouTube, their favorite fighter is Canelo. They don't want you talking about Canelo. They don't want you calling things out. They don't want you talking about Ryan Garcia on here. Devin Haney? Oh, yeah. Tank Davis? Absolutely. Even if you say something about Tiafimo, oh, they catch feelings. So to be honest with you, I done posted enough videos on YouTube to actually figure out who their favorite fighters are. So when y'all see me post Ryan Garcia videos and it looks like I'm actually like trolling, I'm not trolling the fans. I'm actually trolling these moderators who come on here and do weird stuff. Cause I'm testing them. You know what I'm saying? I want to see what they don't like and what they do like. Do you think they like the fact that Munguia went out here and got exposed by 160? And that he just made Canelo's resume look even worse? So the way that Munguia just performed, this guy Brunello has put on a better performance than Berlanga and Munguia did this year. And he did it against Munguia. He did better than Canelo did. And to be honest with you, this was going to make everything worse. Canelo, his best year was this year that just came by. He's not going to be better next year. If Canelo does jump in the ring with Terrence Crawford in a couple of months, he's going to be worse than he was against Berlanga and Munguia. Canelo's at a point in his career right now where he needs to be fighting 3 or 4 times a year. He needs to be fighting 3 or 4 times a year. His team even said he was trying to fight 3 times this year. But then people say, oh man, Munguia wore his body out from fighting 4 times this year. Against a 160? This guy's a 160. This dude Bruno was like, I'm not even supposed to be at 1. I'm supposed to be going back to 160 after this fight. I was only going to 68 because this was Munguia. That's the only reason. And like I was saying earlier today, a lot of people have a problem with Terrence Crawford going up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo, but they don't have a problem with Conor Benn going up 2 weight classes. What's going on, Porco? They don't have a problem with Conor Benn. Do y'all know that Conor Benn is finna go up 2 weight classes to try to fight Chris Eubanks? And nobody has a problem with it? Nobody in the sport of boxing, the media has not had said anything about weight when it comes to Conor Benn and Chris Eubanks. Do people not understand that the number 4 168 in the world right now got beat by Madrimov? Madrimov used to be a 168. And people are wondering why Terrence Crawford went 12 rounds of Madrimov. If Munguia was smart, he would have tried to go 12 rounds too with Bruno. Sometimes going 12 rounds is smarter than trying to get a knockout. With him trying to force a knockout, trying to fight on the inside and do things like that, try to play bully ball and everything, it don't work in certain situations. Yeah, what's up, Porco? Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you for coming through. This dude nickname is Brunello. I seen it on the short. Then his nickname is Bam Bam. He got Bam Bam on the back of his shorts. You said 168 doesn't have anybody worthy. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. That's what I've been trying to tell him, Porco. That's what I was trying to tell him. I broke it down. I was like, I said 68. The only thing you can fight is a Morel or a Benavidez. If not, yeah, Janovich would have been decent. I would have liked to see Janovich. I would have liked to see Janovich. I'm not a huge fan of it, but yeah, he can't sell anything. I'm not a huge fan of Janovich's fighting style. I don't think he's that good, me personally. But I do think that he would have been a better option as far as experience and everything else. I think throwing Munguia, but Munguia dropping John Ryder, getting John Ryder up out of there, it was kind of hard to deny him the fight. So I couldn't really go against it. You know, I had to be real about it. But did I think that? But I did say after that fight though, it was a red flag that John Ryder retired after that fight. You know, anytime a guy retires right after you fight him, that means he was already 1 foot out the door. You seen what Sonny Edwards just did. That's why when people were saying, this has happened to me a couple times this year too. When I was criticizing Bam, people thought I was going against him because I don't like him. I was criticizing Bam because I didn't think the Sonny Edwards win was a top 5 win. Now the guy that just knocked out Sonny Edwards, that should be a top 5 pound for pound win. You know what I'm saying? So now the guy who knocked, so what about the guy who knocked out Bam even faster? Is he top 5 pound for pound? So that's why I was like, I don't know if Bam top 5 pound for pound, because Sonny Edwards is not that good of a fighter to the point where, I ain't gonna say he's a bum. I like Sonny Edwards. I'm saying he's not at a level where he's pound for pound. You know what I'm saying? So the guy, Galal Yafai, he went in there and got Sonny Edwards up out of there quicker than Bam did. And nobody's asking for him to fight Bam right now. But he don't want to move up right now. Yeah, Rocky Fielding had a rehydration clause. We have found out recently that Rocky Fielding had a, yeah, you just see? Boom. Boom. Exactly. Porco just said it. The man had a rehydration clause on Rocky Fielding. And a lot of people didn't even know that. I said that earlier this year. The man had a rehydration clause. That's why I'm not a fan of a lot of fighters like fighting the same guys. Like how when John Ryder fought Munguia, I wasn't too much of a fan of that. I'm not too much of a fan. We got enough fighters in boxing to where you don't have to fight the same guy, and you can still get a challenge. But that's when people say, "Oh, well, he got a name because he did just fight Canelo." I'm not a fan of that because that lets people get away with not fighting tough competition. We might not know who this Bruno guy is, but I was looking a lot more forward to this than actually John Ryder because I already seen John Ryder get walked on. Even the guy, people look past the guy. What's the guy that Munguia fought a couple of months ago? Eric Bizian. I told everybody he was a good fighter. He won most of the rounds. He got stopped, but he was winning the fight up until he got stopped. So it was already a game plan out there to where this guy Bruno was like, okay, I can do this. But I knew it was a mistake when Munguia let the guy get up and then he let him recover. Then when the middle rounds came, he wanted to get in the phone booth with him. And I just didn't understand that. It's like Munguia keep going back to the phone booth. Yeah, the Canadian, he's a beast. He keep going to the phone booth. Munguia, if he don't get out of that phone booth mentality, he's not a big guy. Munguia's like, he's not a big guy. He's not going to be able to fight on the inside with a Pacheco. These guys are 6'3" now. We got 160s that's like 6'3", 6'4". We got 160s that's just as tall as Fundora is. You know, these guys are 6'3", 6'4". Munguia can't go stand in the pocket with these guys. And this guy, he's a big man. He's a big man. Very big. I think people overlooked that going into this fight. He was a very big guy. But this is why I like to see people fight people that's actually in the rankings and going through and fighting mandatories or just picking different fighters because it's gonna be a style that pops up. Hold on, I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be a style that matches up with certain people, and it's not gonna work the way that fans think it's gonna work. Like when Madrimov and Terrence Crawford. Hey, Crawford ain't get the knockout. That mean the Madrimov guy is solid. I haven't heard anybody say, man, Virgil Ortiz gonna knock out Madrimov. I haven't heard anybody say Virgil Ortiz gonna knock out Madrimov. Has anybody heard any fans say that Madrimov is gonna knock out Virgil Ortiz? Not one. Oh no, it's already agreed to. They already agreed to it, Porco. Yeah, I want to see the fight. I want to see the Eubanks and Conor Benn. I want to see it. I want to see it. I definitely want to see that fight. I don't know what weight it's going to be at, but I want to see it. They already agreed to it. They doing the negotiations. Conor Ben has already been cleared to fight. They're going to fight in either Tottenham Stadium or they're going to fight in Wembley. It's going to be in either March. I want to say March. I don't know the dates. I think it's like the 19th, the 26th, or the 7th or something like that. Or the 2nd, my bad. Not the 7th, the 2nd. It might be April the 2nd. It might be March 19th, 26th. So depending on what happens, from what I've seen, they need to just do a straight up across the board, whatever is guaranteed. Because they're talking about if the Tottenham is in the playoffs, just get a stadium that you know. Yeah, he was it's taking so long to make because he got cleared. He just got cleared to fight in Britain, in Great Britain. And that fight is gonna make him more money than fighting Mario Barrios. So Mario Barrios is open to fighting him right now, but he can make more money fighting Conor Ben, so he can go with Conor Ben on this one. It's a lot more money. And Eddie Hearn said with all the legal fees and everything he's had, he needs to go in that direction. See, in the UK, they're making these fights. That's the difference right now in the UK. They're making these fights right now. With or without Turkey Al-Sheikh. They're going to make the fights happen. I think that's what's kind of separating America from the UK right now. They're going to make the fights happen with or without Turkey Al-Sheikh. Give Boots Barrios. Yeah, from what I heard a couple of months ago, Barrios' team wanted like, man, I don't know. I was hearing like 6 million, 10 million. I heard they wanted like 5 or 6 million to fight Boots. Because in their mind, it's like I'd rather get a big payment fighting Conor Ben than just giving up my belt to fight Boots. So I wouldn't say they're not confident, but they just think it's a big fight. The Barrios people think it's a big fight to fight Boots. It was gonna be on the table if Boots stayed in PBC, but he's not with PBC. PBC still doing in-house fights. They still have a list of fights they're trying to get done. But if Boots would have stayed with PBC, he would have definitely fought. But he want to be active. He want to get paid a lot more. So you know how that goes. There's a lot of people switching around right now. It's a lot of people going to there's a lot of people going to boxing right now. Yeah, they selling the belts. Yeah, they selling that belt. They selling that belt. Can't really blame them, you know what I'm saying? I can't blame them. No, they offered Norman. No, I think Norman only wanted 1.7. He would have took 2. Barrios turned down 2 million. Stanionis turned down 2 million. He said Norman, Barrios, and Stanionis all said the same thing. They didn't want to go into enemy's territory. When you're a champion, you're not going to be a champion and try to go fight in Philadelphia. It doesn't make sense. That's like Canelo. That's like Canelo going to Australia or something, and he's the A side. It wouldn't make a lot of sense. So as a champion, Norman didn't want to go to enemy territory. For a certain price, Barrios or Stanionis would have did it, but they weren't putting out a certain amount of money though. That's just something that never been done before, really. You're not gonna have a guy who's a champion come to a different country or a different state or your hometown and fight you. The way boxing goes now, you know how that goes. That would be a big mistake for Norman. With him being 23 years old, that'd be a huge mistake. That'll definitely be a huge mistake. And he's the youngest champion right now. So that's why I didn't put too much pressure on Norman. He's the youngest champion in boxing. If they wanted to make that fight with him, because Norman reached out to them. So if they wanted to make that fight happen, they make it happen. Once a fighter reaches out to you, tells you a price, you got to make that happen. Yeah, if you can make Conor Ben versus Chris Eubanks, you can make Jaron Ennis versus Norman. Jaron Ennis versus Norman is that's just as big over here as Conor Ben versus Chris Eubanks. That's the same situation. So if they can pay for that, they can definitely pay for those other things. You want to get paid in the right way. You got to think about it. George Kambosos got $10 million to fight Devin Haney. I'm going to be honest with you. If I had a belt and I knew George Kambosos got $10 million to fight Devin Haney, man, I ain't finna get nobody no belt. Not for no, I'm not. Even if I know I'm going to win. You ain't finna be paying George Kambosos $10 million and then try to give me a 1.5. Nah, that ain't going to work. You got to figure out something. And Amanda Serrano just got $6 or $7 million to go out there and lose. They gonna have to pay me. Yeah, Eddie got to pay, man. And the way he's getting paid from these, and I ain't trying to count his money or nothing, but Eddie been getting paid from this Turkey Al-Sheikh situation with Ngannou. I think Anthony Joshua got like $50 million to fight Ngannou or something like that. Something crazy. How much Anthony Joshua make to fight Ngannou? Yeah, with all that money being thrown around. And then the Fury and Usyk fight is $180 million. This second fight they're making this weekend, it's like $190 million. I think Usyk is getting like 110. And Fury is getting $80 million. I gotta see. Yeah, Ngannou. Oh, hold on. Yeah, Joshua got $50 million and Ngannou got 20. That don't include. It said it doesn't include the pay-per-view sales or the additional bonuses. Oh my God, these dudes got paid. And I heard that fight didn't sell that much either. Yeah, he got paid, man. Joshua got broke off, bro. Yeah, he made $50 million and Gunner got 20. Yeah, that's a wild number, man. That's a wild number. And that fight was on a Friday. And to be honest with you, I don't know how well that fight did. As far as the pay-per-view sales, I never heard anything about that. But yeah, that was a wild situation with that. But these guys have been getting paid, man. $190 million for a heavyweight fight, a rematch between Usyk and Fury. And Eddie Hearn can give me what, 2.5 million? I just want 2.5. You're gonna get the money back with boots. Because if you think about it, if he would have fought Norman, he could have still went to 54, fought Virgil Ortiz, then turned around. I think he still could have went to 47. Fought one or two more times at 47. I know it would have been difficult because he didn't go down. But bro, from experience, it's better to wait a couple of months and then go back down. Yeah, I think they dropped the ball on that one. But they look back at it, they're like, oh yeah, I could have made that happen. Because the way Jaron Ennis is talking, it's like, he's not gonna be at the division long. So if I was Eddie, I would have got that started immediately. But him and Eddie have a plan. They're not gonna move off that plan. They're gonna stick to it, which is pretty smart. I was trying to tell people earlier, you know, Eddie has a plan as far as all these fights. He's not gonna wait around and play around with these people. He got a plan. The plan is 47. But, you know, Eddie gonna do his promotion thing. He gonna sit up here and say things in the media. But he knows what he's doing. Eddie gonna do the same thing he did with Joshua. He's gonna build him up the right way. You see we're talking about him now, you know what I'm saying? Eddie know what he's doing. That's one thing I know about Eddie, man. He gonna find a way for the fans to talk about the fighter he has. All promotion is good promotion, so that's the way he kind of looks at it. But yeah, man, $50 million for a fight like that. If I was a boxer, I'm like, hold on, man. This guy's an MMA fighter. He's 0-2 in boxing. A lot of people feel like he won the first fight, but he's 0-2. Man just made $20 million. With Turkey Al-Sheikh, man, I gotta get paid. That's how he's looking at it. Whether it's right or wrong, that's how they're looking at it. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of people back against the wall right now. There's a lot of people back against the wall. And I'm not in a situation right now where I'm like, had Munguia lost. That's never my mentality when a guy loses. My mentality is take the right direction and have the right amount of fights or certain styles you have. Like the man fought what was that, Munguia's first time fighting a guy from France? Sometimes to us as fans, it looks like a regular guy, but when he gets in the ring with a certain person, the styles are different, man. This guy Bruno, he didn't fight like a guy from France. He fought like he was a Mexican. Is that the first French? And to be honest with you, they did that on purpose because the next French fighter he would have fought would have been Christian and Billy. The next fighter they would have fought would have been Christian and Billy. I want to look at these scorecards real quick. I want to see what they had up when this guy Bazian was fighting Munguia. I wonder who they had winning the fight. It said Bazian only won 2 rounds. Oh my God. Somebody was scoring the fight right. They had Bazian winning round 1, 3, 4, 5. The fans had Bazian winning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 9. That sounded about right to me. So Munguia was already in a tight spot after this fight. He said that what if he beat him in a rematch? Dog, I'm telling you, bro. I'm gonna be real with the truth. You've been watching boxing like I am. The fact that he know that he can do that now. And y'all was right too. The dude he's a 160. Y'all was right. You and Porco said that yesterday. Dude's a 160. I didn't know what y'all was talking about yesterday when y'all said that. As soon as I got off of here, I said, oh my God, that's what they was talking about? See, this dude Bazian, he was putting hands and feet on Munguia. And look at the scores. Now I'm asking y'all a question. Because y'all saw the fight like I did. Now you see what the fans scored. Let me make it smaller a little bit so y'all can see. The fans scored it a different way than the judges. And to be honest with you, when I look at these scores, man, sometimes I be going with the fans, even though sometimes it looks a little crazy. Now, from what I seen, I only seen the fight once, But I felt like Bazian won like the first 5 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you gotta think about it. Munguia has more fans than Bazian has. So this is mostly like people who are fans of Munguia that were scoring this. But they said Bazian won the first 5 rounds. Then the judge right here, David Sutherland, I've heard he's been pretty decent over the years. David Sutherland, he got it 1, 3, 4, 5. So he almost got all 4 or 5 rounds as well. So Sutherland he has the same scorecard as the fans almost. Yeah, he didn't even realize he hurt Munguia. I forgot about that, Truth. I forgot he hurt him and he didn't even know he was hurt. You right about that. I forgot about that. I forgot he hurt him and he didn't know he was hurt. I forgot about that. He was hurt and didn't even know he had hurt him. You right about that. I forgot about that. I forgot about that. You right about that. I went back and watched that Dennis Hogan thing too. I forgot which one of y'all brought up Dennis Hogan yesterday. Hey, y'all was right about Dennis Hogan. Who has better defense, Tim Tszyu or Munguia? It's a hard question, dog. Do you know I was thinking about that today? You asking me something I was thinking about. Man. I don't know, man. I would say, like, when Munguia is being aware, he is, but I would say the last fight, even though I don't like Tim Tszyu's defense as much, I feel like he doesn't have, even though Tim Tszyu's one of my favorite fighters still, but I don't think his defense is good though. I feel like Madrimov will get him up out of there. He still got that high guard. I gotta go. Yeah, you right, True. He still got that high guard. So I gotta go with I think the thing that messed Tim Tszyu up the most was him not. I feel like he did have PTSD from that blood situation though. But at the same time, he was a little too aggressive. He was aggressive like, man, at this cut. If you go back and look at that fight with Tim Tszyu and Baccarat, Tim Tszyu was fighting like, if I don't get this dude out of here in 4 rounds, they gonna stop the fight. So I can't say it based off of that last fight. If I say that, then I would definitely have to go with Munguia. But just overall, from what I seen, even when he was fighting Fundora, his defense was pretty good. So I would have to go with Tszyu. If Munguia was able to roll his punches a little bit more, he need to work with Canelo. If I was Munguia, I'd work with Canelo. Figure out how to roll these punches. Canelo knows how to take these punches and roll them, and Munguia just take the punches flush. And the way he leaves his chin out in the air it's bad, you know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I say it. Like, Munguia makes that same mistake every fight. I haven't seen Tim Tszyu make that same mistake in every fight. I think that last fight, he was just so aggressive. I think his aggression made everything worse. And when he got caught, he just couldn't never get back to it. Because you seen that when he got hurt, he was still trying to, he still had his legs up under him a little bit. He was still trying to come back, but after he got caught that one time, he just couldn't come back from it. But yeah, that's a close one though. I don't think Munguia's defense is that bad. I think Munguia gets too relaxed in a fight. Too much phone booth fighting. He's not a fighter that should be in the inside fighting. That's why when sometimes I criticize these guys in a win, I be seeing little things like that, like the Derevyanchenko fight. Derevyanchenko, he's not a big 168, and sometimes that gives fighters and Canelo's not a original 168. You know what I'm saying? So even though Canelo is at a higher weight class than this Bruno guy, naturally this Bruno guy is a lot bigger than Canelo is, because at that age Canelo wasn't that big. So naturally Bruno is a bigger guy than Canelo, even though doesn't have the knockout power and everything that Canelo has. He's naturally a stronger, bigger guy. So that caused a lot of issues for him. But And Tim Tszyu as well. That Bakaram guy's pretty big, man. That Bakaram dude, man, he might be bigger than Janovic, man, to be honest with y'all. I'm not exaggerating. That Bakaram guy might be bigger than Janovic. And he's at 54. That dude's big. That dude's pretty big. I was looking at Rafael Espinoza when he was in the ring with Munguia. Man, he's about as big as Munguia is. I know he's tall, but still look like he's about just as big as he is. But yeah, that's a good question. He said Tim Tszyu or Munguia. I was thinking about that, bro. I honestly was thinking about that. I did a Tim Tszyu video, his brother. I did a video of his brother today, and I thought about it. I was like, who has better defense between Tim Tszyu and Munguia? And I think Tim Tszyu did a lot of good things against Fundora, because Fundora could have put a lot more damage on him if he wasn't careful. But I think Tim Tszyu should have fought the way he did against Fundora, a little more patience. But him and Munguia trying to be ultra aggressive, that's what caused them a problem more than anything, more than bad defense. Them being relaxed and trying to be too aggressive. That's why sometimes it's good for fans to criticize boxers, so guys can be reminded, like, hey, you need to work on this your next fight. I bet Tim Tszyu look totally different his next fight as far as his preparation and his mindset. But that's why it's sometimes it's good to criticize a fighter when he's that's why if you look at history, the most criticized boxers are always the most sharpest guys. They're always the sharpest. It just happens that way. Look at how Rayo was. Rayo was so relaxed when he was fighting De Los Santos. He was so aggressive. Right, basically what Rayo did against De Los Santos is the same thing that happened to Tim Tszyu. And the only thing Tim Tszyu can do is he can learn from the Rayo situation and not try to be super aggressive. Go in there patient, use your jab. Because Tim Tszyu, when he fought Brian Mendoza, that was a guy who got Fundora up out of there. And he took his time against Brian Mendoza. He said, I'm not going to go for the knockout. I'm not trying to stop this guy. I'm going to go in here. If it's going to go the distance, it'll go the distance. I'm not going to try to force a knockout on this man. Because you got to think about it. Boychuk and Tim Tszyu made easy work of Brian Mendoza. But then when the Fundora fight happened, and I actually thought Fundora was going to get knocked out by Brian Mendoza. Brian Mendoza got a right hand, man. Brian Mendoza is one of the strongest punchers in boxing. Pound for pound. He's one of the strongest punchers in boxing. But once I seen that, I was like, okay, yeah, Tim Tszyu, he can do something. He didn't rush to get the knockout, so. But once he got that little cut on his head against Fundora, I guess the one thing he was thinking the whole time was, let me be aggressive going there. I ain't finna wait last time like I did against Fundora. They're gonna rob me. It was close last time against Fundora, so let me try to go in here and get it. You can't do that. You got to go in there and trust your skills. And then you got to think about it. Him and Munguia did this after a loss. And Rayo, when he went in there against Colbert, he was patient after his loss. Then the next fight, he went in there, he knocked out Colbert. You know what I'm saying? So Rayo, he's finding, sometimes a loss is good, man. Sometimes you find out, okay, I can't be too aggressive. I can't be too patient. I got to be down the middle. So I think where Rayo is right now, that's why it's good for guys to lose sometimes. Look at Daniel Dubois. I think we're going to do a live about that soon too, where how guys improved after a loss and what made a difference. But did y'all see the Carell and Alexis Rocha fight this weekend? You see how Carell was being patient early in the fight and he was getting pieced up by Rocha? And then later on in the fight, Carell is like, oh, I can let my hands go and I can catch this guy. And I'm a light stronger. I got a right hand just as strong as he does. He said, Abdullah Mason, yeah, it's good that it's good that Abdullah Mason went through that though. He needs that. You're right about that though. If he don't tone that down ASAP, he gonna have a bad mistake. Got to go to a body a lot more too. I don't like to compare fighters like that, but I think Canelo Moulton is a little more ahead as far as his patience. You remember that fight when everybody was complaining when they were like, Canelo Moulton ain't getting a knockout? You remember that one guy he fought? I forgot who the guy's name was. Let me look it up. I'm gonna go look it up. Oh, was it Anthony Cuba? Didn't the fight Canelo Moulton have against Anthony Cuba, he went the distance? But yeah, I was looking at this scorecard though. Let me go through this though. If you look at this scorecard though, the fans had this scorecard. And this Bazian guy, he don't got no fans to the point where people finna get on here and lie about the scorecard. But they gave it to the round that he got knocked out in. He was winning that round. He won the first 5 rounds. So Munguia, his days was numbered as far as that style he was fighting with. And if you go back and look at Munguia when he was fighting against Canelo, he was doing a good job jabbing. And then he started to try to fight in the inside like he did against Bruno. And he got dropped. And then when he got up, he started going back to the jab. Yeah, a lot of people said, man, why did Canelo Moulton go the distance against this Cuba guy? He's trash. No, that showed maturity. That showed that I'm not finna go out here and try to knock this guy out because I'm a prospect and I need to show these people that I'm a knockout artist. I'm gonna go the distance. Tank Davis as well. Tank Davis like, hey, I'm not finna try to get this Eastside Cruz guy up out of there. I don't know much about him, but I don't think it's easy to knock this guy out. So let me go ahead and go the distance, go to 12 rounds with him, outbox him. And that's when people start to realize, oh, Tank Davis can actually box with these guys a little bit. Yeah, absolutely. And he's a smart fighter. Tank got one of the best IQs in boxing. Tank got one of the best IQs. I don't think skill-wise, I think it's a couple of guys that's probably skill-wise better. I know Tank got the power, but his IQ is next level. Tank IQ is next level. That's why I want to see a guy like De Los Santos in the ring with Tank. It's not because, but Lamont Roach, he's good too. I'm not going to crap on Lamont Roach. He's a good fighter too, but De Los Santos, he's just one of the smartest guys I've seen though. He's not a person that really tried to rush in on Shakur Stevenson. He knew better. So when I name certain people I want to see Tank go against, it usually has to do with like IQ more than anything. Because Tank IQ is so high. And that Canelo Moulton guy, I think he got more in common with Tank as far as IQ than he does power or anything else. But I think a lot of people overlook that, man. These strategies these fighters go into fights with is not very smart. Terence Crawford's the same way. He didn't have to get a knockout in most of those fights. If he would have went the distance with Jose Benavidez if he didn't have to. You talking about yeah, not a good fighter at 130. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. 135 is different. They don't understand that. 135 is a lot different. It's way different at 35. Even Shakur is adjusting at 135. 135 is a lot different. 135 is when it starts to get to like those guys have real knockout power. It's not guys at 130 that's knocking out people like at 135. You'll have O'Shaquie Foster, Castasial, and those guys fighting tough at 130, but when it gets to 135, it's a different ball game. That's when guys starting to get knocked out. You go to 135, you better have some knockout power, some real power. Especially when you have guys like Keyshawn Davis and everybody at that weight class. Most guys at 135 have some knockout power. You can get away with it at 130, the little touch and go, drop people, but at 35, you better be a superb boxer because you'll end up getting knocked out at 135. That's when the weight is really, that's when guys walking around with knockout power. But they're going to end up, I don't know what that weight class is going to do, man. Like, if, to be honest with y'all, if that weight class don't do nothing in 2025, it's not gonna be any reason to really pay attention to 135. It's too much potential in fights at that weight class. But yeah, I think Munguia got to go back to the drawing board. He looked better when he was with Freddie Roach. I don't know how much he worked with Eric Morales, but I don't know. Maybe he needs to go back with that Freddie Roach situation. He worked with Freddie Roach during the fight with Canelo. He had Eric Morales during the fight with Derevyanchenko. I think he started working with Freddie Roach during the John Ryder fight. Did y'all hear what Freddie Roach said about Munguia? I'll probably do a video about that. I'm gonna go ahead and explain that to y'all now. Before Munguia fought Canelo, Freddie Roach said that he feels like Munguia should have fought 2 more times before he got in the ring with Canelo. They was like, how you feel about Munguia getting in the ring with Canelo? He said, I think that's a good fight. I think Munguia has a good chance, but I want Munguia to get 2 more fights in before he fights Canelo. He said, I think Munguia needs 2 more fights. And I said, yeah, I agree with that. I said, yeah, I agree with that. He needs 2 more fights. He's only had, what, 1 or 2 fights at 68? How many fights did Munguia have at 68 before he fought Canelo? Let me see. Yeah, man, he only had 2 fights at 68. You want to hear something crazy? By the time Munguia fought Canelo, he hadn't even been at 168 a year yet. He had only been at 168 11 months. He said Freddie Roach picked Jermell over Canelo. I was surprised. Oscar De La Hoya did too as well. But during the week of the fight, Charlo came out and he was saying some things, and I think Oscar heard the same thing I heard because I put a video out about it. Charlo was like, yeah, man, if everything don't work out, they're gonna do a rematch. Bruno is gonna get a rematch with he's gonna get a rematch with Jaime Munguia. It's already set to be done. Zanfer Promotions is activating a rematch clause. They put a rematch clause in the contract for I didn't even know that. They put a rematch clause in the contract. Some people said that they didn't believe that he was gonna win. But I can't believe they had a rematch clause. That was pretty smart. They put a rematch clause in the contract. So he's gonna be fighting this guy in like March, April. So around March or April, expect the fight from Bruno and Munguia. Bruno was kind of iffy about it because he said he's a 160. And I thought he was just talking, but I looked at his resume. This dude got like almost 30 fights. He only has like 2 or 3 fights at 168. So the dude's not really a 168. His last fight was at 160. I think he only accepted this fight because it was Munguia. He wanted to fight a top fighter. But that's the fight he's gonna get next. He said 154 beats a 168 ever. I mean, it's happened before, bro. I mean, Canelo's done it, bro. Canelo's a 154. Actually, Canelo's a 147. I don't think people understand that Canelo's a 147 that beat a 175. I think people got to go back and study what's actually been going on in boxing. Canelo's a 147. I don't know how long people been watching boxing or nothing, but Canelo's lost to 147s and went up to 175 and beat a 175. So weight classes don't really mean nothing in my eyes, to be honest with you. I just seen guys get beat down by guys who was 2 or 3 weight classes lower than them. Canelo's a 147 that's fighting at 168 right now. Madramov's a 168 that's fighting at 154 right now. I think people don't just want to see it, but Canelo's been doing that. Canelo went up 3 weight classes and beat a 175. Hold on, how many weight classes is that? He went up to 54, 60, 68, 70. We went up 4 weight classes. That's just a narrative people push around like, oh, 54 would never beat a 68. Yeah, they will. They absolutely will. Shoot, I've done it before. When I was at 54, I was benching 400 pounds. Yeah, when nobody finna put their hands on me like that at 68. No, I think that's just a narrative that people push around though. Canelo is a 147 that beat a 154. I mean a 175. You might not, you ain't gonna hear that on no other channel, but that's a fact. We agree, right? I can pull up the box record and show you. You agree, right? What's up, Exist and Live? You agree about that, right? Exist? Or have you ever heard anybody explain it like that, or is that your first time hearing that? I don't know. He's not saying anything else, so I don't know if he understands or is he gone already? Maybe he's gone already. But this is why I don't like to call in shows and nothing, because they don't really explain all this stuff. And it kind of... But if we can go back down, what does that weight class say right there, sir? It says 47, right? With Canelo. Move this over a little bit. Canelo's a 147, man. I don't know if everybody remembers that. You see this? Canelo was at 47, 47, 47. And Canelo went all the way up to what? 75, right? He beat Kovalev at 75. Canelo went from 160 to 175 and beat Kovalev. Canelo went up 2 weight classes and beat Kovalev. If you can look at that right now. So people don't want Terrence Crawford to do what Canelo done already? I don't understand when people say that. Dude, I don't know. I don't think, to be honest with you, I know people don't know Canelo as much as I do. But that argument would never be able to last. That argument's dead. Canelo went from 147 to 175 and beat Sergey Kovalev. Why is it that Canelo can be great and everybody else can't be great? This is why the sport of boxing is not in the best shape right now. Because last week I heard the fans saying that Munguia was fighting a cab driver. They still call the man a cab driver right now. The man is number 3 in France, and they call him a cab driver. Canelo went from 160 to 175 in the same year. He went up 2 weight classes and fought Kovalev. Chris Eubanks Jr. and Conor Benn is going to go up 2 weight classes to fight Conor Benn right now. So when you say a 154 would never beat a 168, Canelo's done it, bro. That's just a narrative they push in boxing. And that's why, to be honest with you, how can I give, how can anybody else be great in boxing when the only person y'all gonna let go up 2 weight classes to fight somebody is Canelo? And then people complain about how guys ain't fighting nobody. Don't nobody want to challenge themselves. The fans don't want nobody to challenge themselves. We can't let Canelo be the only guy going up 2 weight classes to fight people. Of course he's going to be the only fighter. He's going to be the face of boxing because he's the only person that can do what he wants to do. There's no fans in boxing right now that's smart enough to say that a guy can't go to 68 from 54. They don't do enough research. Does anybody agree? Or everybody disagree with that? Y'all don't see the evidence I have up here? And I'm actually being nice about it right now. But am I lying? That's what I just want to know. Am I lying right now? Am I lying? That's all I want to know. Am I lying about Canelo going up 2 weight classes in the same year? Matter of fact, I'm gonna record this right now so I can go ahead and post this video. So Canelo went up in the same year. In 2019, Canelo went from 160 to 175. He went up 2 weight classes. Now Canelo was already at 47. He started at 147. He lost at 47. I mean, not 47. He lost at 54 to Mayweather. Well, not 54. He lost at 152, whatever that was. And then look at the weight. Mayweather was 150 and a half, and Canelo was 152. And people try to make it seem like Floyd wanted to catch weight. Why would Floyd want to catch weight when Canelo was almost 2 pounds heavier than him at the weigh-in? So Floyd Mayweather was the A side, the greatest fighter of his generation, and he gave Canelo the advantage going into the fight. Right after that, he went to 155. He didn't never fight at 152 again. So he was already the heavier man. That's proof right there that Canelo was the heavier guy in that fight. They even said that Canelo weighed like almost 168 when he fought Floyd. So this man was fighting at 155 the whole time. He went from 154 to 164. So he technically went up 2 weight classes to fight Liam Smith. I mean, 2 weight classes. I mean, from Liam Smith to Chavez Jr. Then he went to 160, the Golovkin situation. Then he went to 68, went back to 60, fought Jacobs. Then went to 175. So Canelo was fighting. He went up 2 weight classes in 1 year. In 1 year. In 1 year, Canelo went up 2 weight classes. So when everyone says, oh man, a guy ain't no way at 154 beats a 168. Canelo done it already. Canelo went from 154. He went from 147 to 175. This man went up, how many weight classes is that? He went up 4 weight classes. So nobody is going to be great. Roy Jones did that all the time. So that's something Roy Jones did. Canelo's done. I don't know why when it comes to Terrence Crawford, people are like, oh, he can't do it. Roy Jones did it. Canelo did it. And this is after Canelo lost to Floyd. If I would have told people, hey man, the guy who lost to Floyd, he going to end up being a 175. They would have been like, no. Nobody who loses to Floyd at 150 is going to go up to 175 and beat a 175. He did it. And he's beating guys at 168. When it gets to that level, the only thing that matters is skill. Even Dimitri Bivol said that Terrence Crawford has a chance to beat Canelo. And he knows more about that than any of us. But when people say that Canelo, no fighter can go from 160 to 175, that's a lie. Canelo's done it. Roy Jones has done it. Terrence Crawford has went up how many weight classes? Only thing he's doing is trying to do the same thing Canelo did. He's not going to 75. He's just going to 168. That's it. That's just a narrative that people push though. That's the most untrue thing I've ever heard in my life. I cannot lie about it. I'm just showing y'all this because it makes a lot of sense. I was supposed to talk about Canelo, so it goes into the video, the live. But as you can see right here, I'm just showing you 160. And this is after Canelo was at 47 and 54 now. He went to 68, then he went back to 60, then went to 75 in the same year. And this is something I'm asking Boost to do right now. Hey man, just go up one weight class, go back down, and you good. It's just one fight. So I'm not asking no boxer to do nothing that anybody else ain't done. It's the fans who don't want these certain boxers to do the same thing Canelo did, Roy Jones did. I mean, how are we gonna find out who's great if it's only 2 or 3 guys that we want to move up and down weight classes? Doesn't even make sense. This is why I don't like debate shows, because it's like, bro, it ain't nothing to debate about. We can easily just pull this up and look at it. Did anybody say on here, hey man, Canelo don't need to be fighting Kovalev? No way a guy from 160 can go up to 75 and beat a guy at 75. And then Canelo, he know his limitations, because you know why? He went right back down to 68. That dude went right back down to 168. Then went to 175 again, and ain't been back since after the Bivol fight. And then you want to see something else crazy? Look at the scores that Bivol had. Look at the scores they gave Bivol in the Canelo fight. Look at the scores. Y'all see the scores? The fans said it was 118 to 110. Now we know that Canelo has more fans than Bivol. They said it was 115, 113. So they say Canelo won 1, 2, 3. They said Canelo won the first 4 rounds against Bivol. So if anybody is scared to go up, that's the reason why. He won. They say he won the first 4 rounds against Bivol. The judges. But you see why I'm critical of Canelo's resume? Trust me, bro. I know Canelo. I know Canelo very, very well. I told people about the Munguia fight. I said it's not good enough. The Charlo fight I had a problem with. But yeah, that just goes to show that the weight classes, it's a thing to talk about and everything. That crap don't matter. When it comes to Canelo, and Canelo's not this a highly skilled boxer. He doesn't jab and throw the most prettiest combinations you ever seen. He's just good at what he does. That's it. But yeah, hopefully people understand what I'm saying. If not, then you just choose not to understand. That's it. That's it. I'm seeing right now that maybe I was thinking maybe I'm too harsh about this Canelo thing or the resume and everything else and everything that goes on in boxing. I haven't been. I'm not trying to be Mr. Perfect, but the fans they going against everything that certain people say, and they want to roll with a narrative, and it puts me in a bad spot because I'm the only one that's gonna tell the truth, and everybody else kind of wants to go with the flow of things. They don't want to upset how boxing is going. And this is the reason why you have guys like Munguia getting upset now, because he was never supposed to be in that position. Munguia wasn't even at 168 a year yet, and he was already getting a fight with Canelo. How? Because you fought Derevyanchenko? Derevyanchenko was a guy who's... How many fights did Derevyanchenko have at 168? Let me see. How many fights did Derevyanchenko first fight at 168 was against Jaime Munguia? Derevyanchenko first fight against him was Jaime Munguia at 168. That was his first 168 fight. Well, that wasn't his first one. He fought at 168 a while back. But he fought at 168 in 2016. Early on, he was at 64, 66. Yeah, but Madrimov was the same way. And people say he's a 54, so that really doesn't matter. If Derevyanchenko would be considered a 68, so would Madrimov. Madrimov fought at 68 before. The weight class stuff, that don't really matter. Munguia just got knocked out by 160. But what other news I was gonna talk about on here? I was talking about that. Oh yeah, the Inoue thing. Let me talk about that before I get off of here. So now on the Inoue, he has a situation right now with this Akhmadaliev guy. And everybody says Akhmadaliev is not that good because he lost to Topalas. And why would Inoue fight a guy? Why would he fight Akhmadaliev when he already beat the guy who beat Akhmadaliev? But at the same time, this guy TJ Doheny is not that good of a fighter, to the point where he should have even been an option over Akhmadaliev. That was my whole situation. I'm like, why is TJ Doheny? Do y'all know that the guy that Inoue fought recently, TJ Doheny? Did you know that he's lost a fight every year since 2019? Every year. This man has lost a fight every year. He lost a fight in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. He's lost a fight every year since 2019. All these losses he has is in the last 5 years. Every year he's lost a fight. Think about that. Every year this man has been in the ring, he's lost a fight. And this was the best option that Inoue could find at 122. So when I say I don't want to pay attention to what Inoue is doing, it's because I don't want to see Inoue fight a guy who loses every year. Whether or not Doheny was fighting Inoue or anybody, he could be fighting Scrooge. He's lost a fight every year. So when people say, oh man, he lost to Topalas, yeah, okay. Akhmadaliev lost a split decision to, and if you listen to the commentary on that fight with Akhmadaliev and Topalas, every time Akhmadaliev did something good in the fight, he had Topalas almost hurt on the ropes, and they didn't even say anything. Sergio Mora, I was a huge fan of Sergio Mora. I know you got a job to do, but man, like, come on, dog. I know you got a job to do, but come on. The commentating for Sergio Mora recently, I was giving him a pass these years, but it been trash, bro. You gotta step it up. You an ex-boxer. One of my favorites. I watched Contender when you was on there. I was watching Contender live when you was on there. I watched the Contender live. If y'all watch UFC, The Ultimate Fighter, they got that from boxing. From Sergio Mora and with Sylvester Stallone and all those other guys. They got a lot of pro fighters out of that bunch. K9 Bundrich, a lot of those guys in that situation was on the Contender. And Sergio Mora was sitting there commentating the fight. I'm like, okay, y'all. So ESPN fired Andre Ward for what? So you can have guys like Sergio Mora on here commentating? Every time Akhmadaliev did something in that fight, he like, just quiet. And then as soon as Topalas did, Topalas, I'm like, okay. Whatever name, I'll just throw a trick out there. Whatever name you hear the most, that's the one they basically want to win. Ain't no way a guy who won every year. That's why when people say, "Hey man, people just don't know the lower weight classes like that." No, y'all don't know the lower weight classes. This guy Doheny has lost every year since he's been boxing. I mean, since 2019. The last 5 years, he's been boxing. Every year. And we worried about one loss from Akhmadaliev? Okay, man. Keep repeating what these boxers be saying. These boxers, they use these fans to push narrative so they can get certain opponents in the ring and they don't have to answer for why they didn't fight a mandatory. And then the TJ Doheny fight will go down as the worst fight that Inoue was involved with. Not because of Inoue's performance, because of his opponent's performance. Luis Nery did a way better job than Doheny. Because he actually went out there and tried to go toe-to-toe with Inoue. Yeah, he got knocked out faster. But he tried to go toe-to-toe with him. And he dropped him. But for fans to sit up here and try to worry about ticket sales and everything when it comes to Doheny, that dude ain't selling no tickets. Dude he been losing every year. He's from Ireland. And he ain't finna sell out no stadiums in Ireland. So this narrative that people try to push like, oh, well, Akhmadaliev, he lost to Tapales by a split decision. That's just like me saying, oh, well, Munguia lost to Canelo, so I don't want to see him fight no more top fighters. You heard anybody saying they don't want to see Munguia fight no more after he lost to Bruno? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. But yeah, man, I brought up Canelo and I don't hear nobody saying nothing no more. So I got what I needed out of that. You start telling the truth